And welcome back, all my friendly peeps. I'm not going to use that lingo anymore. That just sounded stupid. Magic. Throne of Eldraine. Previews. Day 7? 7? 7? That we're on? I think so. And we're starting to get near the home stretch of these. I'm trying to remember exactly where we're starting here now. Oh yeah, now I know exactly where we're starting now. We're starting here with Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig. Now, each of the 5 kingdoms, which represent a color in the pie, have a Lord Noble that presides among them. And Yorvo, Lord of Garbin, is the 3 green 0/0 giant noble legendary rare creature that represents that. He comes out of the battlefield with 4+1 counters. Whenever you play another green creature, or whenever it enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1 counter on this card, and then if his power is greater than the creature you played, you put another +1 counter on this card. So you're already getting a 4/4 for 3. Assuming you're in green, you're going to be playing, decent amount of stuff. But at that point, you already have a 4/4. Now, there's still plenty of stuff that you could play in green that can supersede him in terms of power and toughness. But once you get maybe one activation of this effect off, this is just going to be an engine that's going to keep going and going and going and going and going. Specifically, I could see this thing being horrifying in a token deck with Saprolings. Just disgustingly terrifying. Now that said, though, the one little downside of this I can definitely see is there is no other effect on this. There's no trample or vigilance or reach. Nothing that really makes him relevant. Beyond his power. If you can give him trample, toughness, anything like that, or toughness, trample, first strike, anything along those lines, evasion somehow, then this guy's going to become just disgustingly monstrous. Then he's going to become a problem. But overall, I still really like him. And he looks kind of like Thor because of his hammer. Overwhelmed Apprentice is 1 blue, for a 1/2 uncommon human wizard. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent puts the top 2 cards of their library into the graveyard. Then you scry 2. This is like designed for basically a mill control deck. It's going to cause your opponent to get rid of stuff. We already have seen plenty of blue cards that are designed to kind of interact with your opponent's grave. So this just seems like another card that's designed to go further into that. It's a good little 1-drop. You get a 1/2 on turn 1, which means that 2 even though it'll die to any sort of like burn spell against creatures, it'll take just that much longer to get through that. So it does take some more effort. A little 1-drops or 1 power creatures are not going to be able to do anything with that. But still, overall, I do like it. Sorcerer's Broom. Sorry. I get a little take on Fantasia. 2 of any color for a 2/1 artifact creature spirit, uncommon. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, you may pay 3 of any color. If you do, create a token that's a copy of Sorcerer's Broomstick. Now, essentially, that means if you have enough mana, when you sacrifice a creature, that means you can use the effect off multiple copies. In essence, creating the multiple brooms in Fantasia. A good idea, a decent effect. Problem is, it's on a 2/1 creature that just isn't doing anything else except being a 2/1 creature who can die pretty easily. Otherwise, it's, again, not a bad concept for a card. It just needs to be on a stronger creature overall. Castle of Interest is the rare. Now, there's a cycle of rare colored lands. So colored lands. Rare single color lands. Castle of Interest is the blue one. Enters the battlefield, tap unless you control an island. Tap and add 1 blue, or you can pay 2, tap 2. Pay 2 blue and 2 of any color. Tap and scry 2. This is a pretty solid one. This is a decent one. Scrying is a very relevant ability. For 4 mana, you can do that every turn. You're not going to do it every turn, obviously, because you're going to want to play stuff. But when you're feeling like you're low on cards, that the cards just aren't adding up, you can definitely set up your hand. So that could definitely be advantageous. Castle Lochthwain enters the battlefield, tap unless you control a swamp. Kind of the kind of style that goes with the cards in this set, at least for the lands. Tap to add black mana. You can pay 2 black mana, 1 of any color to tap this card. Draw a card, then lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. No. See, with the other draw and lose a life, it's usually only 1 or 2 life. This one, I mean, it pretty much says, it's pretty much telling you don't play this card's effect unless you are pretty much down to 1 or 2 cards in your hand or no cards in your hand. Because otherwise, the amount of life you're probably losing is not going to warrant the card you get. So, not a fan of this card myself. Not one I would personally use. If someone, now I know plenty of people love that lose life, draw a card engine, but still. Wallbreaker Giant is the Gruul color in the hybrid 4-mana color cycle. 4 mana for red-green hybrid. 5/5, giant creature. Wallbreaker Giant cannot be blocked by walls or knights. So really, in limited, this thing's going to be a powerhouse, specifically because of all the knights around. There aren't a lot of walls floating around, though. But if there's a wall, it will be a good card, definitely. And even then, it's a 5/5 for 4 with no downside, so it's still going to be a good card. Acclaimed Contender, 1 white, 2 of any color for a 3/3 human knight rare creature. When it enters the battlefield, you can control, and if you control another knight, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a knight or equipment or legendary artifact from among them and put them into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom on any random order. So essentially, this is a 3/3 card for 3. So right off the bat, it's good. If you have a knight, then you get a really cool search effect. The problem is you need to have a knight. And I'm going to guarantee you, your knights are not going to be living long on the field if your opponent can help it. Just because of the way the knights decks can be structured from what we've seen, people are going to want to get rid of knights pretty quick. Now, in Commander, I could see this being pretty advantageous. Obviously, searching, if you have another knight, shouldn't be hard to keep at least 1 small creature on the field in Commander. Big creatures are usually the bigger threat. No, it's not a bad card, certainly. It's a 3/3 with no downside for 3. Good card. That's a usable card. And the effect it does have is advantageous. However, you do need another creature. That's the downside. And it can be a big downside, especially if you can't get another creature. And this is like maybe the only creature you have in your hand. You have no other creatures, and you need something on the field. Then you got to make your choice. So, still not a bad card, but yeah, not the best. At least not in my eyes. It's a good card. Castle Embereth is the rare land, or the rare red land of the cycle. Comes out tapped unless you control a mountain. Tap for a mountain. Pay 2 of it in mountains and 1 of any color to tap this card. Creature you control get +1/+0 until the end turn. This and the blue one are probably 2 of the better ones. Definitely. We'll get to the white and green one in a little bit, but definitely these are 2 of the better ones. Being able to pump up your field, especially if you actually have stuff on the field. Now, I will say, I think the white one is a little better because you don't need anything on the field to make that work. You do need creatures on the field to make this one work. So that is the weakness of this card. And to be fair, the black one doesn't have that restriction either, but the black one's going to kill you on life. Easy. But ultimately, not bad cards. Not bad cards at all. Escape into the Wilds is 1 green, 1 red, 3 of any color for a rare sorcery. Exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may play those cards exiled this way until the end of turn. You may also play an additional land this turn. In fact, we see a lot in red, exile, and then you can play cards later on. It's cool that it lets you actually play an extra land, too. So if you play this, like you not even having land, you end up getting 2 land. You can play 2 land because you play additional land, and then essentially you could get other cards out of that, possibly. The only downside is you do have to pay at least 5 mana. So if you don't have a lot of mana past 5, you are going to run into a problem there. Castle Garenbrig, which is the green one of the cycle. Again, comes out tapped unless you control a force. That's for 1 force. Now you pay 2 green and 2 of any color to tap this card. Add 6 green mana. Spend this card only to cast, or spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. Essentially, that says you're paying 4 to get an extra 2 mana, is what it's saying. But that being said, it still puts you up on mana, which is good. There's no downside to this, and if anything, it's probably more useful than the red one because that can actually give you creatures. Whereas the red one, you need creatures to use. However, that said, you still need they can still be used in conjunction. You can use the green one to get the creature, red one to use the creature. So, still good. Definitely still good. And we do finally get the mythic rare adventure creature. Realm Cloaked Giant is a mythic rare white, 2 white, 5 of any color giant, 7/7 vigilance. Its adventure is cast off. 2 white, 3 of any color. Destroy all non-giant giant creatures on the field. Now, because giant is it's not a niche creature type, but it's one that you're not going to get a lot, unless you're in a giant deck, which I have, and I will get this guy for the giant deck. You're not going to be dealing with many people who use giants. So you already got the board wipe effect at 5 mana, which most people would use. Then you get a 7/7 with Vigilance. Now, I will say this. If we're just the 7/7 with Vigilance, for it's 7 mana for a 7/7 Vigilance. That is not mythic rare status creature. But when you combine it with the wipe out, and then basically next turn you could next turn or two you could get a 7/7 giant, specifically if you have some mana ramp at any point. Then you've got possibilities there. Plus, if you're in a giant deck, you're going to have giants on the field probably already. So to get past their little blockers, you're basically just going to wipe them out, keep your giants on the field, and again, deal with that. Lonesome Unicorn, which is I think it's a nod to the last unicorn. 1 white, 4 of any color for a 3/3 vigilance unicorn creature, or Rider in the Reed. Right? What does that say? Rider in Need. Okay. Rider in Need is 1 white, 2 of any color. Create a 2/2 night creature with vigilance. So essentially, you can create the knight. You can create the vigilance unicorn, which is not a vehicle, obviously. Be hilarious if it was. 5/5. 5 mana, 3/3 for vigilance. It's okay. Not amazing. Critting the knight is actually going to be a lot better. First off, you can do that early on, get the 2/2 in vigilance, and then later on you can get the 3/3 if you want it. Excuse me. There's better creatures in the set though for 5 mana, so keep that in mind. Silverflame Squire, 1 white, 2/1 of any color for a 2/1 human soldier with no effect, common. Or its adventure cost is on alert, 1 white, 2 of any color for target creature gets +2/+2 and untaps and until you enter and untap it. That's a little bit better. You'd probably want to play it honestly for its adventure cost first, and then bring out the Silver Flame. I mean, dealer's choice, but that'd be the way I'd go about it. Garenbrig Squire is 1 green, 1 of any color for 2/2 human soldier common. Whenever you cast a creature spell with adventure, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. So if you need to be an adventure deck to really get the advantages of it, but still not terrible. Toonvale Treevoke is 1 green, 1/5 of any color. 6/5 common Treevoke with adventure. Oaken's Boon, 1 green, 3 of any color. Put 2/+1 counters on target creature. Hey, look, that's a permanent boost. It's not bad at all. 6/5 for 6 is decent stats, so it's ultimately a decent common. Nothing amazing, nothing to write about, but still not bad. Blacklands Paragon is 1 black, 1 of any color for a human knight, rare, 3/1 flash. Enters the battlefield. The target knight gets death touch and lifelink till the end of turn. It's only good when it enters the battlefield, but that said, it's still not bad. You're getting 2 abilities on 1, so honestly, pretty decent, I'd say. At least for the knight deck. Otherwise, it's just kind of pointless. Sir Farron, the Hedgehammer. 2 green for a 2/2 human knight, uncommon legendary creature, riding a frickin' bear. Enters the battlefield, whenever he attacks, another target attacking creature goes +X/+X, where X is this creature's power. You're already going to pump up a creature to 2 then, and it's not knight, it's creature, which gives this guy a lot more of a boost in terms of usability. Then you add equipments that can be that are in the set that can be attached to this guy, and you start to actually compile a pretty powerful creature. There's a reason this guy's legendary, so you can't have multiple creatures available to use for multiple pump-ups. And theoretically speaking, because I have a mirror gallery that breaks the legend rule, if you were able to have 2 of these on the field, in theory, they would continually pump each other up, I'd imagine. Because one's pumping the other up while the other's pumping the other up, and then the other's pumping the other. It's an infinite loop. You immediately get an infinite loop if you can somehow cheat 2 of these out in the field. A mirror gallery is definitely that. A card that can do that. Castle Artaban is the final in the cycle. Comes out tapped unless you have planes, taps for planes. 2 white, 2 of any color, tap it, create a 1/1 white human creature token. It makes creatures for 4, but it's a 1/1 with no abilities whatsoever. Even if it had lifelink would be pretty decent, but even if it had vigilance or something, it'd be better than nothing. So yeah. It's real. It's okay. It gives you a body, but it's not that great. Um, Mysterious Pathlighter is 1 white, 2 of any color for a 2/2 fairy, uncommon. Flying, each creature you control that has adventure enters the battlefield with an additional +1 counter. So this will reward you for playing the creature with +1 counters, or with adventure. If you're somehow in an adventure deck, it'll be a good card. You can have multiple copies, so yeah. Not bad. Otherwise, it's pretty much just a 2/2 for 3. Lucky Clover, yeah, basically a 4 Clover. 2 of any color for a uncommon artifact. Whenever you cast an adventure spell or sorcery, copy it. You may choose a new target for its copy. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Again, rewards you for playing the adventure, so you're going to need to be an adventure deck. So I guess maybe I'll have to make an adventure deck. If I do get a box of this, I'll have to make an adventure deck. Until then, though, downloaded all the cards today. There might get a couple more later on tonight, but until then, that's all the cards for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. I've got a What If and a Lantern Corps video to do, so keep your eyes out for those. Later.